The following segment is sponsored by the Ewing's Publishing. In her transformative book, Discovering the Great I Am, One Woman's Search for God, Sherry Griffith, a seasoned licensed clinical social worker, delves into the profound intersection of spirituality and science. Sherry, welcome to the show. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I'm so excited that you're here. Can you share more about your journey, exploring the power of personal beliefs and how all of that works?
Well, I have always wanted answers to the questions, like many people, of who we are, why are we here, what is God, if there's a God, all of these profound questions. And when I was very young, I had a close spiritual connection to all that is, and then I lost that as a child, like everybody does. And so it's been a journey of finding my spiritual center, what I believe, and how do I define it all. And I learned to go with my own experience. And I've done a lot of studying, reading, looking at religions, philosophies, everything. And I did find some answers for myself. And in writing this book, I hope to provide some answers to others as well.
Well, it's such a big question. Why are we here? And every person has their own story. So if someone does read your book, what are they going to find inside that?
Well, first of all, you're going to find out that your story is just fiction. We all create a fiction about ourselves based upon who we think we are, who we've been told we are, and what we think and have been told that the world is in general. And then we operate out of that in a framework. And we could have some very disturbing beliefs in that it doesn't give us the realities we want. We're suffering, we're unhappy, our relationships aren't going as planned. And it is that suffering that drives us back to our spiritual center, to the vortex of spirituality, if we can still those thoughts that come from the things that we've learned about ourselves in the world that are really not functional.
Is that the idea of conscious creation?
It is.
Can you talk a little bit more about what that means for an individual?
Sure. You know, we all create. We do it unconsciously all the time. We are all creating our reality individually and in mass. And because we are not conscious of this, we're of course creating our fears, our pain. We're creating all of the things that we don't want. And it's when we stop and we look at that and say, what am I supposed to learn here? That we can put the ego aside and see our creation as our work of art and how we may want to change it so we experience a better reality for ourselves and for the world in general.
It already sounds like I need to read this book. Can you, how is kind of understanding your mental health and all of that kind of go into the book really fast?
Well, you know, I discovered for myself we have to take absolute responsibility for everything in our lives, even if it's counterintuitive. If you have cancer, as I did, instead of why me and resisting it, ask, what am I supposed to learn from this? And it informed my life from then on. And I was able to step outside the ego and say, okay, I'm supposed to learn this and whatever it was I was supposed to learn. Incorporate the new information. The old information just shores up what we already believe about ourselves in reality. This is who I am. This is who you are. Putting all that aside allows us to incorporate new information to build a better existence for ourselves and for everybody in the world.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being here, Sherry, and I can't wait for everyone to read your book.